The air held the crisp scent of pine and dying leaves as Leo surveyed the fields. A deep, silent sigh escaped him, misting in the cool air. The once bright rows of orange and gold squash, meant for the annual community feast, were now largely withered, struck by an unexpected early frost. Only a small, meager pile rested by the old barn, not nearly enough for the grand gathering tradition of the valley. "Don't let the chill settle in your heart, little one," came the gentle voice of Elara, his grandmother. She sat on the weathered porch swing, a blanket of patchwork quilts draped over her lap, the moonlight already painting silver streaks in her hair. "We have so little to share this year, Grandma," Leo admitted, kicking a loose stone. "Everyone else's bounty looks so grand. This year we'll be the ones showing up empty-handed." Elara smiled, her eyes crinkling at the corners. "Did I ever tell you the story of the first family harvest?" Leo had heard Elara's tales 100 times. But tonight, under the glow of the massive, luminous harvest moon, he listened again. "Long ago," Elara began, her voice soft as velvet, "when our ancestors first settled this land, their main field failed catastrophically. The whole community faced a lean season. But one evening, under a moon just like this, so full and bright it seemed to hold the sky, the eldest woman dreamt of a hidden promise. She dreamt that true bounty is never found where you expect it, but where you have forgotten to look." Leo watched the huge golden orb of the moon, which seemed closer and brighter than any he had ever seen. The harvest moon, they called it, the one that lights the way for late work. "Where did they look, Grandma?" he asked, captivated. "They looked to the edges, Leo, to the wild, untamed places they had neglected, thinking them too poor for cultivation. They found a small patch of earth nestled between the old river stones and the deep forest line, where the sun warmed the soil just long enough, and the river fog kept the frost away." Moved by the tale, Leo picked up a lantern. "Show me the forgotten place, Grandma. The moon is lighting the way tonight." Elara wrapped a shawl around herself, her old bones moving with surprising energy. They walked past the barren main fields, past the storage shed, and down to the farthest, least loved boundary of their land, a messy line of thicket and dense growth separating their property from the woods. Leo pushed aside a curtain of thorny vines and dead leaves. The air immediately grew warmer, muffled by the surrounding trees. And then he gasped. Beneath the canopy, protected by the tall pines and nourished by a tiny hidden spring, was a sprawl of vibrant color. They weren't the traditional golden squash, but deep green, purple-striped gourds, tough-skinned root vegetables with hues of violet and sunset red, and a cluster of ancient, misshapen pumpkins with waxy rinds that had resisted the blight entirely. It was a secret, resilient garden, thriving in its forgotten corner. It wasn't a miracle of magic, but a miracle of nature's persistence. Guided by Elara's wisdom and the powerful, illuminating light of the harvest moon, they worked until dawn, their basket filling with the unexpected, magnificent bounty. When they arrived at the community hall later that day, carrying their strange, jewel-toned harvest, the other families stared. "These are the resilient ones," Elara announced proudly, placing the striped gourds and purple roots at the center of the main table. "They grew where we weren't watching. They remind us that the greatest gifts are often found in the places we neglect, and that hope, like the moon, always returns, bright and full." The feast was rich with the unusual flavors of the harvest moon harvest, and Leo realized their offering wasn't just food. It was a story of hope and the boundless richness of the land. He sat beside his grandmother, sharing a slice of warm, strange-tasting pumpkin pie, knowing this was the most meaningful feast they had ever shared.